Harper Woods man now facing charges in the death of his mother, to go along with many other charges at the moment. 23-year-old Jonathan Welch, accused of stabbing 42-year-old Flossie Bray. This happened July 10th.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, big kid.
Good afternoon, and sir, please state your name for the record.
Jonathan Welch.
This is the story of Jonathan Welch, 23, who murdered his girlfriend Zleah Frazier, aged 22, then proceeded to murder his own mother, then his stepfather, threw out his own 1-year-old son out the window, then burned down the house. This all happened just 2 days after his own mother bailed him out of jail for assaulting his girlfriend.
This week, during a violent rampage in Harper Woods, her boyfriend, Jonathan Welch, is the accused in the case, and at the time, he was out on a $10,000 bond for trying to kill Frazier just days.
Based on this case, we will be traveling to Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is the birthplace of the U.S. auto industry, and for most of the last 100 years, there were more cars built in Detroit than anywhere else in the world. Detroit is also famous for its distinctive Motown music sound based on the recording label Motown Records. Zleah Frazier, 22, was a nice and young and hardworking lady. She was the CEO of a boutique where she sells shoes, purses, and other clothings. She was said to be loving, full of positivity, and always bring light into the room. She has a beautiful baby boy whom she loved dearly. The father of the baby is her longtime boyfriend Jonathan Welch.
Oh, handsome black man. Hey, Daddy.
Hey, big kid.
They had been in a relationship since 2014 according to her Facebook profile. It was a joyous moment for them when they learned they would having a baby. Jonathan was more excited when he learned they would be having a boy. He stepped up and took to the normal responsibility of any decent father. He expressed his love for his new boy and wanted the best for his baby. In October 2020, she went on Facebook to posted their 6 years anniversary, where she said how they had shared very nice time together, how they cried and yelled, and also hated each other but never separated. She mentioned how he is the love of her life and how amazing of a father he has been. Friends asked them how they have managed to stay together for so long. She replied, trust, forgiveness, and communication. Sadly, the relationship started experiencing signs of domestic violence. Jonathan would hit her here and there. He started to feel very insecure, which was the beginning of the end. He would question her occasionally about who left a comment on her social media or who liked her pictures. Sadly, things got out of hand and Jonathan went too far. On that fateful day of June 2nd, Jonathan started just like one of his usual days. He demanded her to unlock her phone so he can glance through it, which she didn't do. He got so upset that he put a cord around her neck and won't let it go. He did this over and over, but she still didn't let him have the password. He then proceeded to pour gasoline on her body, then burning her arms and legs with a metal spatula. He didn't stop there. He beat her with his belt and threatened her with a drill before he tried to sexually assault her with a large pole. Zleah was able to convince Welch to take the extension cord off of her so she could help their crying child. The attack, which lasted for about 4 hours, mercifully ended when Frazier ran naked to her neighbor's house and was able to get help. The neighbors took her into their home, gave her a blanket to cover herself, and called 911. Jonathan followed her and tried kicking in the neighbor's door, but left before police arrived. This is where the case gets crazy. He was charged with torture, first-degree home invasion, harmful device possession causing injury, third-degree criminal sexual conduct, assault with intent to commit sexual penetration, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, and 3 counts of felonious assault. On June 12th, his bond was listed at $100,000, which means 10% cash surety, and one of his conditions was not contacting his girlfriend, Zleah, meaning he has to only pay 10% of the total amount, which was $10,000. On July 8th, Jonathan's mother was able to raise the $10,000, so he was bonded out of the Wayne County Jail with the help of his mom and dad. Just 2 days after his mom bonded him out, police responded to a home near Kenosha and Sanilac Streets to a report of someone being held against their will inside the house. It was the home of Jonathan's mother, Flossie Nicole Bray. The caller stated that someone in there is holding her hostage. Jonathan's mother escaped the home and went across the street to Ruth Tabone's home after she had been stabbed multiple times. She collapsed with a knife still hanging in her back. After police got there, Jonathan would not open the door and a standoff would ensue. He decided to set the house on fire, and a neighbor recalled seeing him tossing the 1-year-old baby out of the window afterwards. Police said they saw the small child crying in the driveway, so they approached and safely removed the child from the scene. Shortly after they brought the child to safety, shots were fired at them from inside the home. Police then noticed smoke and flames coming from inside. Harper Woods firefighters and officers had to operate carefully to oust the flames while the standoff continued. After 7 hours, Jonathan finally surrendered to police and was taken into custody. Cell phone video from a neighbor showed him crawling down the front steps toward officers. When the cops got in the house, they found the bodies of his father, Robert Bray Jr., and his girlfriend, Zalea Frazier, inside the home. Both were killed by blunt force trauma. His mother was taken to the hospital to have the stab wound treated. She was last listed in critical condition, but unfortunately she died of her injuries few days later.
The third victim of a tragic family attack in Harper Woods has died tonight. The suspect is facing a slew of charges.
The incident unfolded inside a home on Kenosha earlier this month, just days after the suspect was released on bond. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell spoke with the victim's loved ones.
A man was arraigned here at District Court in Harper Woods on the third murder he is accused of committing while out on bond. The loved ones of one of his victims are speaking out, hoping her story saves your life or the life of someone you know.
Zalea wanted the best for everybody. She was a true sweetheart. Zalea loved her son. She loves him so much. That was her world. Right on time.
In this video, Quazon Frazier sees love as his younger sister Zalea sings karaoke with him while holding her now 1-year-old son, Sammy.
When I see you. One of the last videos I got with my sister, we did like a karaoke night.
One of 7 siblings, Zalea knew how to make others feel important. She was on the homecoming court every year at Warren's Lincoln High. Her mom, Trina Harris, says the 22-year-old was studying, inspired by her brother who fought cancer and her sister with cerebral palsy.
That's why she wanted to become a nurse.
Now this man, 23-year-old Jonathan Welch, is accused of murdering her, his stepdad, and his mom at a home on Kenosha in Harper Woods on July 10th. He appeared in court Wednesday for arraignment on the third murder charge after his mom died in the hospital. It happened just 2 days after he got out on bond, accused in June of assault, criminal sexual conduct, home invasion, and torture. The victim, Zalea.
That he held her hostage for hours. He beat her. And when he got tired, he rested and beat her some more. What he did, torture. He poured gasoline on her. He wanted to kill her.
My sister was fully naked when she ran out the house and ran to a nearby neighbor house to get help. How do you let somebody out that did that to somebody? How do you let them out?
And she was ready for her new beginning. Because she was talking about the future a lot.
They are speaking out, hoping judges take a more in-depth look at details of domestic violence cases before offering a low bond. They also hope to inspire domestic violence victims to leave sooner.
I want women across the world to know that abuse is not love.
Abuse is not love.
This time, Jonathan Welch has no bond. He is scheduled back in court for a preliminary exam on August 31st.
His son would survive the whole ordeal, thankfully, but the family was really upset. They believe they were let down by the system.
It's definitely broken. They should never let him out. They let him out of jail. And he killed my sister. He killed my sister. They never let him out of prison. I don't have nothing to say.
Police called the bond given to Welch an opportunity to kill.
He was given a chance with bond at that time and took his freedom as an opportunity to finish a job and kill victim Frazier.
10,000 is easy to come up with. It's people that steal something from a store that would get more than 10,000. You torture somebody, you sexual assaulted somebody, and you got out with paying $10,000.
So again, the magistrate who set the bond has yet to respond. The chief judge has yet to respond. who has responded to us so far is Prosecutor Kim Worthy. She tells us tonight, quote, "It is an understatement to say that it is exceedingly difficult to get appropriate bonds for violent felonies from some of the 36 district court magistrates. Magistrates have reports available to them that detail alleged crimes in their files before a bond decision has to be made. The bond that was given to Mr. Welch for his alleged horrific crime was much higher than we usually get. So we were hopeful that after the presentation of the evidence at the preliminary examination, that would hopefully persuade a judge to actually increase the bond accordingly. It never got to that level, tragically, never got to that preliminary examination. Now Welch is being held, a judge in Harper Woods holding him on no bond tonight.
Jonathan Welch has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 4 counts of assault with intent to murder, 1 count of second-degree arson, 7 counts of felonious assault, and 6 felony firearm violations. Prosecutors called for an emergency bond hearing for Jonathan on the original charges. The judge had this to say about this whole case.
Far too little, far too late. Court's worst nightmare. Worst possible scenario that could happen, and that a witness has been killed after the defendant was placed on bond.
Can I talk, Your Honor?
You want to discuss that with your attorney first. All right.
Jonathan was remanded to the custody of the Wayne County Jail. At this time, Jonathan remains in jail without bond and will have his day in court soon.
The community comes together tonight to honor a mother murdered this week in Harper Woods. Police say that 22-year-old mother died during a violent rampage on July 10th. Her boyfriend is the accused killer, and he was out on bond for trying to kill her just days before. Tonight, many people gathered in Warren to remember her. Megan Woods joins us live from Lincoln High School. And Megan, I know you spoke to family members who are also calling for justice.
They are about 100 family and friends met here at Lincoln High School, where Zalea attended just a few years ago and graduated. And tonight, they were all wearing purple, her favorite color, and reflecting on the life that she was just beginning.
She didn't have to die. The system killed her.
22-year-old Zalea Frazier's mother is in tears as she faces what led to her daughter's murder. Her family is now frustrated with the 36th District Court magistrate, Dawn White, who set the bond.
Her mistake cost my sister her life, and that hurts. There's nothing that can bring my sister back. There's nothing that somebody can say, no apology that's going to bring my sister back. That hurts.
She was a beautiful woman with a beautiful soul, very courageous, very outgoing.
And loved by family and friends.
The turnout itself made me emotional. My sister, just to see that she was this well loved and liked, and it just means a whole lot to me. This many people coming out.
They prayed together.
Amen.
And cried together. It's a pain this family doesn't want others to have to go through.
And I want all of y'all young folks to know abuse is not love. Some people are afraid of being judged and everything, but your loved ones, they're not going to judge you. You know, we're here to help. Everyone's here to help. Everyone wish they could have helped my sister.
Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of the victims. May their memory be a blessing for their family and for all who knew them, and may their life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. Please stay safe and see you guys in the next video.